Hello everybody, my name's Ash.
I'm TJ.
And we're from Roganic Hong Kong. Today we're going to show you a couple of really simple recipes using some of the canned products that gets distributed to the people in Hong Kong.
So we're going to make a really easy tortilla and then it's going to be filled with...
So we're going to use a Hong Kong staple, which is Spam. I know people love it over here. We have it for breakfast at work quite a lot. We're also going to utilise some slightly Hawaiian flavours on it, which will be the pineapple slices. Again, very nutritious, perfectly fine. And then we're also going to use some of the sweet corn, like this one. It's got a slight dent in it. That's absolutely fine. You know, it's perfectly fine to eat. Just because it's got a dent, don't throw it in a bin. It's an absolute waste and a travesty. So there's nothing wrong with using tin products. You know, at Roganic, we use things like chopped tomatoes for stocks and sauces. Start with the Spam. So I'm just going to slice it into about maybe 1/2-inch slices. I'm just going to take some of our soy sauce and a little bit of sugar and just slightly marinate the Spam together. A good about 50/50 soy sauce, 1/2 sugar. So I've just got a pan on the stove, a little bit of oil. I'm just going to roast that off. So just rolling it to get a nice little even colour. And a nice high roast to get a nice dark caramelised sort of flavours going on there.
So I just got a little bit of flour and salt in the bowl. And then separately, just mix that together. I've got some water and oil. We're just going to gently mix it together. It's really simple. It's about 125 grams of flour, half the amount of water, and then again 1/4 of the amount of water, and then just a pinch of the salt. So it's super easy. You're just mixing it until smooth, no lump, and then it just needs to rest, and then we can fry it up. It's really cheap and easy to use like store cupboard staples.
So the Spam's got a nice little bit of colour going on the outside now. As you see, the soy and the sugars all start to caramelise. You get that lovely little smell going on. So I'm just going to remove that from the pan. I'm going to keep all that liquid in there, keep all that flavour, and I'm going to use that for the vegetables. Any soy and sugar that's left here, I'm going to keep that. I'm using that to soak the pineapple now. So the tin pineapples, obviously, I want to keep some of this juice, so any excess that we might have later, so it doesn't go to waste. So just pour that out. So we've got pineapple rings. Again, I'm just going to roll that through my the soy and sugar, get a lovely little glaze. I'm going to roast that down as well. I'm using pineapple here, but you could do this with any fruit. You know, peaches will be absolutely fine, even melon. And I'm going to keep whatever's left in there, and that's going to be the dressing at the end for all the vegetables. So no food wastage at all.
We just want to knead it a little bit. It's quite a wet dough. So you want to just get the gluten working so it's nice and light and fluffy.
So next, I'm going to prepare the filling for the tortillas. So we've got a little bit of the tin sweet corn as well. Again, because we're not going to use all of this, I'm going to keep the juice, and whatever's left in the tin, I'll put back into the bowl and make sure you keep it. Doesn't need to be in the fridge. As long as it's covered, you can use it again within a week or so.
Even the tortillas, once they're cooked, you can easily keep and retain it for a while. They won't go off. There's nothing perishable in it.
So we've got a nice little lovely caramelisation of our pineapple. So remove that from the pan. A lot of the tins that get handed out by Fee in Hong Kong, you know, could be fish-based. Really, really healthy for you. High in omega-3. Really good fatty acids as well. It's great for your heart health.
So now this is all smooth and rolled. We're just going to leave it for 10 minutes just to rest and develop the glutens.
So I'm just going to roast some peppers down. I'm going to put a little bit of soy and sugar in there in a minute. Just going to soften them slightly.
So we're just peeling down the vegetables here that we're going to put as the filling. As you can see, they're not like the most perfect ones, but they taste exactly the same. Often you can find them cheaper as well at local wet markets.
We've got the peppers, they're lovely sweated down now. We don't want to cook them all the way, just keep a little bit of bite in them. And again, the soy and sugar that we used before from the pineapple and the Spam, that's not going to go in the bin. We're going to put that in here. Get those nice sort of like sweet flavours going. I believe we've got some spicy vinegar. I'm going to put a tiny dash of that in there. Yes, we've got some lovely glazed up peppers there. And our last step is going to take our tin sweet corn, just put a little bit of heat, not too much though. Too high heat, all the sugars will start to caramelise a bit too much and go a little bit bitter, so you just want to be careful you heat a little bit. I'm just going to give that a nice little char. Now the sweet corn's in the pan, I'm going to turn up the heat. And we've got some sweet corn left over. Remove it from the tin into the brine that you've kept before for storage. Otherwise it might start to develop slightly off flavours and the bacteria is more likely to grow inside the tin, so make sure you take it out the tin. Ideally you can cover it if you can, and that'll be fine for at least a week. you know, little plate on top is perfectly good. So the sweet corn now has got a lovely little char in it, and that'll be mixed into our filling. I like this recipe. It's literally made in one pan, or one pot wonder, as we like to say. So minimal washing up, which is always a bonus, and yeah, less energy, which is obviously very important.
We're just going to start rolling it out now. This one done here is just for 4, so just divide it somewhat evenly. A little bit of flour so it doesn't stick to everywhere, and then just push it down as flat as you can.
I'm just going to dice up this wonky radish. I'm going to leave that completely raw. I'm not going to cook that at all. I want to retain that lovely, like, little fresh burst of flavour. No need to cook the radish. Again, we've got everything cooked here, so it's nice always to think about contrast whenever you're making something. Whenever you're cooking vegetables at home, you can always keep all the peelings and the trimmings. Even when you cook your vegetables, you know, keep the water, add all your peelings and trimmings into it. You know, any little bits of ham you might have is great in broths and soups. So the last little bit of our tacos, I just want to make a really simple little dressing just to bind everything together. So I'm going to separate the egg because I just want the yolk, but we're not going to waste the white. We're going to cook that down very quickly for the tacos just at the end. So just crack the egg, open it up half, and then just like this, just to separate the white and the yolk. Even the eggshell, you know, even if you're making a little soup at home, you can throw that in, cook it, and then take it out before you eat it, because in there is lots of calcium and protein, and you can put that into your broth.
So you're just going to start frying the tortillas now. As you can see, just really rough, roughly platted down as thin as possible. You just want a medium pan with a little bit of oil so it doesn't stick.
So my egg yolk, I'm just going to put a tiny bit of spicy vinegar, which we have here. Again, you could use anything you want. It could be white wine vinegar, it could be rice vinegar. Just very slowly emulsify oil into your egg yolk.
This is just 1 minute on one side, and then just flip it over. I'm just pushing down so it gets a nice colour.
We're not going to make it too thick. Basically a very light dressing, and this will add a little bit of creaminess to our filling. And obviously we've gone for a little bit of Hawaiian flavours here. So we're going to put a little bit of chili powder, such as salt. Again, that's optional. Lastly, we want a little bit of freshness, a little bit of green, and obviously it's always great to put fresh herbs into your dinner. You know, obviously very nutritious, but also a delicious way to just freshen everything up a little bit. I've just taken the very tops off. Then we're going to obviously save that for our vegetable broth. I'm going to chop everything from the coriander. The little stalks at the end, they go into our vegetable broth, along with the chive tops, and any little bits and bobs that you might have lying around at the end of the week. Get it all in one pot. If you're not sure what to do, bring it to the boil, add whatever spices or flavours you want to it, and it's good to go, you know, with some noodles or some rice. Perfect.
Yeah, just put the leftover egg white in to make a nice little, almost like scrambled egg white.
Using the egg white, get a lot more protein into dinner, avoiding waste, and yeah, like, why throw it in the bin when it could be on your plate, you know? We're just going to demonstrate how to build one now. We're going to start with like a little bit of Spam, and what you want to do is just sort of go along the tortilla to sort of make sure you got an even filling all the way through. Next, we're going to go with the pineapple, sort of like, again, going in a line on top of the Spam. Next is the sweet corn. We're going to follow that up with some of the peppers and the radishes. We always like to finish with all the freshness on top. And then we're just going to drizzle our sort of chili mayonnaise on top. Fold it up and enjoy. So that's mine and TJ's Hawaiian / British / Asian inspired,
bit of everything.
Yeah, inspired family dinner, using mainly tin products that's celebrating the stuff that Feeding Hong Kong does and the important work that goes on behind the scenes.